Welcome back to the 2013 Premier and Founders Cup here live from Lindbergh Center and Hopkins High School here in Minnetonka, Minnesota. A very humid and balmy morning here. Lots of thunderstorms throughout the weekend, so it's kind of affecting the ball a little bit here because the humidity is kind of making the ball stick to the guards here and to the floor this weekend. So it's been very interesting watching the players adjust to that when they're used to maybe playing on slicker surfaces. I'm Tony Jackson, bringing the action to you live. Thank you for watching online on our live stream at powersoccershop.com. BORP Bay Crushers, Atlanta Shepherd Strikers. Score right now 3-0 Atlanta. A couple amazing goals in the first half. First goal by Duran DeBurr, and the second goal by Dustin Swafford for Atlanta, and then an absolute laser of a shot from Jerome Duran to make it 3-0 Shepherd Strikers. Coming up after this match, we got Premier Cup semifinals, Arizona State Sun Devils versus the Minnesota Magic, the 2012 defending Premier Cup champions. And on the other side, we have the Circle City Rollers versus the Turnstone Flyers. So we'll be bringing you that action after this game today. Championship Sunday here at the venue. Lots of excitement in the air. Founders Cup going on at the same time. So if you know players from either team, go online and check out the live stream at powersoccershop.com. Second half getting ready to start here in just a few moments. Some more teams arriving. Fans are slowly starting to trickle in. It's quite early here this morning. The California teams not having much luck in the tournament so far. Southern California and BORP in the Premier Cup not faring as well as they'd hoped. Traditionally pretty strong teams, especially BORP. Southern California, one of the newer Premier Cup teams, they had played in what was the old Division II of USPSA for a long time and were promoted a couple of years ago, and they've managed to hang on, even though you'd certainly think they would like to find a little bit more success and bump their rankings up as they go on. Hopefully they can do that in the near future as they bring in more players. Okay, the teams are now coming back out on the floor. We're about to start the second half here. On the floor for the Shepherd Strikers, in goal, number 24, Billy Price. Up front, on the far end, Jerome Duran. In the middle, Taiwan Britton. And on the near side, Kair Bussel. On the other side for the BORP Bay Earthquakes. On the far end, John Madigan. In the middle, Brandon Johnson. And up close here, number 2, Brian Larson. In goal for the BORP Bay Earthquakes, Lateef McLeod. BORP going to take the ball to start the second half. And we await the referee's whistle. And the second half is underway here. Madigan with the ball, can't quite catch up to it. That one just too far out in front for him. A quick turnover, and Atlanta looking now to extend their 3-0 lead here. Duran with the ball, Larson. Duran splits the defense, Johnson and Duran all game long. This is a matchup that you've seen. This is going to be a 2-on-1. Madigan looking at the ball instead of getting out of the way. The referee will call that almost every single time. Jerome Duran now calling out instructions to his team. Taiwan Britton, typically the goalkeeper, has given up the goalie penny. And there's a shot. Johnson deflects it out. Duran with a 180 off Larson. Duran collects that one once again, brings it back across the midway point. But Larson sending it back. Oh, and there's a 180, very lightly tapped by Duran. Didn't want to deflect it too hard. He regains position. Down the floor he goes. Johnson, Duran trying to get it around to his front side, and he does. Down the floor, McLeod. Johnson trying to defuse the threat. Duran bounces it off Johnson out of bounds. Kick in. And the Strikers threaten once again. Kair Bussel on the far end looking to collect this pass from Duran. Can it get across? Oh, and Duran whiffs on that one. Britton tries to save it, could not. Out of bounds, a very, very bad hit by Duran as he didn't quite get any power on that. And it kind of dribbled back into play. Johnson now. Goal kick for BORP. Madigan. Right around Bussel, but he can't catch up to the ball either. Out of bounds. Madigan having quite a hard time to start the second half, trying to get to any of the passes that are coming his way. You got to wonder if his reaction this morning in this early hour just not quite serving him right now. You got to think the jet lag from the California teams has got to be playing a factor here. Madigan, Duran swings the ball past him. Johnson, Duran swings the ball past Johnson. Britton now. That one's going to go off Johnson out of bounds for a striker's corner kick. Duran going to take that kick. Britton at the top of the box. Bussel on the far side. Trying to get Bussel into position at the top of the box on the far end to give him a better angle and more real estate to get a shot off. And here's the pass in. And Britton right there. Oh, goes near post. Saved by the post. Johnson now springs into action and sends the ball out of the box. Johnson. Britton. Who's going to win this battle of possession? Looks like Johnson is taking over, but Britton fighting back here. Gaining position. Britton getting the ball around the front. And they swing it back across. Duran very quick down the floor with that one. Duran pass to Britton. Larson now for BORP. Sending it down the other way. Duran coming back around with the ball again. Down the floor he goes. Behind Larson. Very nicely done. And the referee's going to call a 2-on-1. Sometimes right there you really got to think you'd like the referee to call the advantage and let the attacking player continue play down the floor. But that's entirely up to the referee. This one here decided to call the 2-on-1 and set it up at the spot of the foul. Britton and Duran trying to decide who's going to take the kick. It's going to be Duran. Britton setting up for a screen. And there's the shot in. Britton fakes the shot. Oh, and it goes right in between Johnson and McLeod. Duran going to bounce the ball off Johnson. Sends it back into the box. Oh, and there goes Duran. He's going down the floor with it. Oh, and a shot! Nice save by Johnson. Johnson, McLeod desperately trying to fight the ball off, keep it out of the goal. And Duran's going to just drive it around Johnson into the goal. A very valiant effort by McLeod and Johnson, but Duran was just too much and too shifty. Brought it right around Johnson for the fourth goal now. Atlanta Shepherd Strikers 4, BORP Bay Earthquakes 0. Just under 5 minutes have gone by here in the second half, and the Atlanta Shepherd Strikers have firmly taken control. Johnson now to Madigan. Madigan back into the game. Duran down the floor, trying to fake out McLeod, but Madigan's right there to cut that pass off. Madigan chips it down the floor. It's going to roll out of bounds. Striker's ball. Britton going to go ahead and take this kick in. Going to send it over to Duran. Duran now around Larson. There he goes. Madigan right there. Duran swings it past Johnson. Very nicely done. Britton, oh my goodness! Right in front of McLeod. McLeod couldn't react fast enough to get back to the post, and Johnson was late getting there. Taiwan Britton with a goal. Now 5-0. The goal's coming fast and furious here early in the second half. Can BORP stop the hemorrhaging just a little bit? And it looks like McLeod's going to come out of the game. Going to be replaced by number 16, Margaret Melee. McLeod having a rough go out here today. 5 goals getting past him. And so now they're going to try to switch up the lineup a little bit and try to reinforce that defense to stop the bleeding here. Shepherd Strikers attacking quickly and often here early in this second half. Duran with a pass across the box. There goes Larson to cut that one off Duran. It bounces off Larson down the other way. Madigan stopped the progress of that ball as it was rolling towards the goal. Johnson swinging. Duran swinging again. Bussel there. Pass was behind him, however. It's going to roll harmlessly out of bounds. Billy Price in goal for the Shepherd Strikers. John Madigan inexplicably in the way of that ball, kind of stopped the progress for the BORP offense there. Johnson now down the floor. Duran looking to 180, and there it goes. Oh my goodness! Holy cow, another rocket shot from Jerome Duran, again from behind half court. Martin Melee unable to catch up to that one. My goodness, there is some heavy-duty, long-range bombing going on out here from Jerome Duran today. That's his second one. The goal now puts them up 6-0 over the BORP Bay Earthquakes. My goodness. Madigan now down the floor, out of bounds. The ball chipped out by Madigan. Britton now to Duran. Duran splits the defense. Down the floor he goes. Johnson's right there at midcourt to stop him. Can Larson catch up to this ball before it goes out? Yes, he can. Duran, though, very nicely takes the ball and heads down the floor once again. Duran just all over the place today. And there's the pass to Britton. Oh, and that was not a 2-on-1 by BORP. Looked like Madigan and Johnson were a little too close together. Referee missing that call, but however, it worked out for the Shepherd Strikers as that one's going to go out for a corner kick. Very peculiar non-call there by the referee, as certainly there were 3 people within range of the ball. Duran now winding up and sends it across the box. Duran DeBurr with the shot. Can't quite get enough on it. Britton right there holding the ball, trying to bring it around DeBurr, getting out of the way to avoid the 2-on-1. Can he get out fast enough? Yes, he can. And he swings around to get out of the way. Britton still there with the ball. The ball trickling down the sidelines, out of bounds on Johnson. Shepherd Strikers threatening once again to increase their already huge 6-0 lead. Duran swinging it in. DeBurr right there. Oh, can't quite catch up to it in time. There was space behind Johnson, but can't quite get there. Atlanta relentless with the offensive pressure this half. BORP trying to stop it all. DeBurr now. Johnson takes the ball. Durand with the ball once again. Johnson, Durand, down the sidelines. Durand takes the ball away from him. Down the floor he goes, and the pass to Britton. Durand swinging it back down. There's DeBurr. Can he catch it? Oh, it's off the side of his chair. Larson's right there to pick it up and go back down the other way with it. But there's Durand to try to stop him. And he does. Back down the floor they go. Durand, Larson. And there's a pass across the box to DeBurr. Can he capitalize? And, oh my goodness, there it is! Another goal. That's his second of the day. Duran DeBurr now putting Shepherd Strikers up 7-0. That's his second goal of the day. John Madigan trying to save it in time. Couldn't quite get it. Ended up knocking it in. And we have now reached the midway point of the second half. And Shepherd Strikers, you got to think, ladies and gentlemen, are cruising right now. DeBurr, Madigan both missing that ball. That's going to be a Shepherd ball. Britton. Duran. Down the floor he goes. Chips it past Larson. DeBurr right there with it. Johnson also. Duran. Johnson again. Down the floor they tango. Down the sidelines. Duran. Oh, we're going to get a contact foul here on Durand. BORP's ball. BORP setting up, trying to avoid the shutout here as they're now threatening just outside the goal area of the Shepherd Strikers. Madigan with a spin kick. Johnson hits it out the other way. Wrong way with the ball. Did Johnson go? And Duran gladly takes the ball. Now fighting with Madigan for possession. Who's going to win the battle? Madigan looks like he's gaining position. Very nicely done, but oh, Duran chips it out of there. Larson can't quite catch up to it and go the other way. That's going to be Shepherd's ball once again. Very nice battle right over here between Duran and Madigan. And it looked like Madigan was going to take the ball and go down, but Duran very, very smartly just kind of knocks the ball away and sends it down. Shepherd ball. Now looks like we're going to get another substitution. Jerome Duran coming out of the game, and in for him, number 23, Dustin Swafford. Swafford now sending it in. Britton, can he catch up to it? No, but DeBurr's right there. Johnson now going to try to get around DeBurr. Sends it back in. Madigan gets it past Britton. Madigan down the floor. Can he catch up to it before it goes out of bounds? Doesn't look like he's going to. Out of bounds. Shepherd Strikers ball. Currently up 7-0. Just under 8 minutes left here in the game, plus any added time. Coming up after this match, Premier Cup semifinals. Circle City Rollers versus the Turnstone Flyers on one court. On the other side, Arizona State Sun Devils versus the defending Premier Cup champion Minnesota Magic. There's the inbound from Swafford. And we're going to get a 2-on-1 call on BORP. Right at the top of the box. Communication very key in avoiding the 2-on-1. There's a 180 by Swafford. DeBurr going to get it, chips it off his back wheel. Can he control it? No, he can't. Johnson takes the ball the other way. Britton, Johnson gives it up to Larson. Larson down the floor. Swafford, Larson battling for the ball. Larson passes it out, but it's going the wrong way. Johnson can't catch up to it. Swafford gladly takes it away, sends it out of bounds. It's going to be BORP ball from deep in their own defensive end. Madigan now. Johnson with the ball. Britton chips it away from him. There he goes down the floor. DeBurr, can he catch up to it? Yes, he can. Oh, but he can't get enough power on it. The ball sails just wide of the post. Melee is there. It's going to go out for a goal kick. BORP trying to get a goal on the board to avoid the shutout. It looks like we're going to get another substitution. Deron DeBurr for Atlanta going out into the game now. Number 7, Kara Bussel. Johnson, Larson, chips it back to Johnson. Madigan now taking the ball, passing across. Very nice passing by BORP here. Britton splits the defense. Johnson, Britton down the sideline. Who's going to win this battle? Britton is going to take the ball. Larson's right there to pick it up. Oh, there goes Britton. Nice move. He's got Melee to beat. Can he beat her? Melee's right there. Swafford, Britton too close together. Referee's going to call a 2-on-1. Swafford getting a little too aggressive right there, trying to get the shot off, but Britton was in the way. 2-on-1. The thread is over for the moment, and BORP is going to send it down the other way. Larson. Britton. Larson pushing the ball. It's still in. He can't quite control it. It dribbles out of bounds. The fans and the players for the second round of matches have arrived. Everybody preparing for a trip to the Premiership Championship game. Swafford. And there's Madigan kind of crashing into Britton just a little bit. And the referee's going to call a foul on that one. Madigan not getting the proper angle on that ball and kind of just slamming into Britton just a little bit, and the referee's going to call a contact foul on that. Swafford now going to take the ball, a 180 kick to Britton. Oh, he hits it behind him. That's going to go out of bounds. BORP setting up once again in the Atlanta defensive zone. Madigan now. Johnson trying to screen out Swafford, comes out to the top of the box. Pretty far backwards, and that allows Swafford to just chip the ball away from him. Too far out of the box was Johnson. Bussel with a cross-court pass to Britton. Very nice pass. Britton right on the post there. Oh, can he beat Melee to the sideline? No, he can't, but he turns back around. We're going to get a foul here. Oh, the referee almost gets taken out. Bussel not watching where he's going there. Wow, that was an incredible threat there, but it looked like it was a 2-on-1. Referee stops that play. Britton almost beat Melee there at the goal line. Down the floor they go. Madigan with the ball. Pushes it forward. Britton, can he get there? Yes, he can. Madigan passes it to Johnson. Johnson swings it across but whiffs on it. Britton gives chase. Oh, Larson right there to push him around, out of bounds. Referee's going to call that ball strikers, even though it kind of looked like it went off the BORP player. Actually, that would be the striker's ball then. Swafford now. Britton guiding the ball up the court. There's Madigan. Madigan. Britton battling. Britton's going to win that one. That's a 2-on-1. Johnson getting way too close to that. 2-on-1 on BORP. Atlanta will set up once again. Just under 3 minutes left here in the second half. After a furious flurry of goals to start the second half, the action's kind of calmed down a little bit. Madigan now, down the other way with the ball it goes. Billy Price going to knock the ball out of bounds. It's going to give BORP the ball deep in Atlanta's defensive zone. You really think that had Price let that ball roll out of bounds, it was going to go wide, and that would have been a goal kick for Atlanta. However, BORP now threatened, trying to put some points on the board. Madigan chips it through. Oh, can he get it through? Yes, he can. Very well done. Good awareness by Madigan, seeing the gap there, pushing the ball through, and BORP on the board. 7-1 the score now. About a minute and a half left in the game, plus any added time by the referee. However, it might be a little too late for BORP. However, they did avoid the shutout. A nice goal by John Madigan. Britton over to Bussell. Oh, nice touch by Bussell right there, getting it past Larson. Bussell, Johnson. Johnson rips it away from him. There's Britton, and there's another 2-on-1. Larson and Johnson too close together. Larson had no business being back there. There's no way he's going to be able to defend that. Johnson was in control there.
Not too far.
Britton now. Britton sending it over to Swafford, but he's not there. Swafford was there, and then he moved out of the way. That one's going to go out of bounds. BORP ball. We're now in added time here. Shepherd Strikers comfortably in front, 7-1. Madigan now inbounds the ball to Johnson. Johnson takes it up the floor around Swafford. Britton right there on defense. Can Johnson get it around him? They fight down the floor. Yes, he does. He rips it down the floor. Larson can't quite get there in time. They're a little late to react on that pass. Referee says it went out on Atlanta. BORP ball down the floor, and there's Larson with the shot. Back to Madigan. Madigan now bouncing it down towards the post. Rolls out of bounds. Goal kick. And there's the final whistle. Atlanta Shepherd Strikers in control pretty much the entire way. After putting up 3 goals in the first half, they bursted out with an offensive explosion in the second half, and they're going to win this one 7-1. John Madigan for BORP, the only goal for them. Great action today, and we saw some fantastic goals